Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first the fighter on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a mixed martial artist, standing 5'11", official weight 161 pounds. His record coming in 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 decision. Fighting out of Liverpool, England, Mark Glover. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a mixed martial artist, standing 5'10", official weight 161 pounds. His record 6 wins, 2 losses. Cardiff, Wales, I give you Lewis the Foot Lord. Your referee, Mark Goddard.
No surprises who the hometown favorite here is tonight. The crowd on their feet and cheering loudly for Lewis Long. Your referee for this one is Mark Goddard. Lewis Long in the black trunks, red corner. Mark Glover, white and black trunks in the blue corner. Clearly a lot riding on this one tonight, Frank.
Both guys trying to prove that they're back. Both guys trying to prove that they can come back after losses. You know, difficult guys, especially a little bit more difficult though for Glover because he's been out for a while. That year off, I mean, obviously he was training the whole time, but not competing. That's a different kind of mindset. Not being in training camp. It's kind of different to get back in after a year off to come into an 8-week training camp. So let's see how he does.
But it's also an opportunity to work on some technical stuff and improve and really get the skill set going.
And heal. And you forget the micro tears and little bad things that happen to you, the inflammations and stuff that have time now to heal up.
Seeing some nice feints and potential boxing combinations from both guys here. A bit of dancing from Lewis Long. Looks significantly bigger. He has actually fought at much higher weight classes. Couple of good inside leg kicks, really mixing his strikes up early here.
Wow, if Mark Glover had made that a straight right hand, he probably would have knocked down Long. He curved it over the top and tried to come down on top of him with it, and as a result, Long was able to get out of the way.
Lewis Long finding a home for a few of these kicks. But a really nice tight guard from both guys here. Keeping everything right where it should be at the moment. And bringing their punches back quickly, which is always so nice to see.
Wow, and Glover's doing Long's doing a great job of slipping every punch. He's getting out of the way just a little bit, so he's still in position to punch back. Great head motion, the best head motion we've seen all night tonight.
Yeah, I'm really liking the boxing. Well, the striking in general, actually, of Lewis Long. Mixing it up, finding his range nicely. Saw how he slipped that punch. He was just millimeters away, but, you know, missed by an inch, missed by a mile. Halfway through this opening round. Well, that one, I think, did some damage. Mark Glover says no, it didn't. But a bit of showboating, always a bit questionable as to whether you got hurt or not, Frank.
Well, in that position, he lifted his leg up to check and got caught. He lifted up too late, so he was off balance and got kicked through. Long kicked his leg out from underneath him, that's why he spun around. He really didn't get hurt. He just was off balance. But still, it looks really good for Long for the judges.
And really hammering that low kick in now. We saw him check Glover's attempted low kick just earlier, so clearly that huge background in Muay Thai serving him very, very well here.
I mean, Long is of all the punches he's thrown, only 50% have a chance of hitting him because he's missing by so much. And of those 50%, only 10 are getting through because Glover's got such a Long's got such a tight defense when he's in there.
Going to the body, going to the head, going to the legs. A lot of things for the Liverpudlian Mark Glover to think about in this opening round. Still so much pop in those punches. Palmer, Frank Trigg calling the action for you cage side. You can join in along with us at Cage Warriors on Twitter, hashtag CWFC54. Lewis Long really turning the pace on now.
That was a hard body shot. He dug deep into those ribs. Long's still in that already. Excuse me, the Glover's still in that already. Long does a great job of digging into those ribs.
Look at the angles Long's turning when he's stepping off those punches. No straight lines there, are there?
Everything's cut to a corner. Everything's a quarter turn. Everything's a quarter angle. He gets out of the way. He slips. He counters immediately. Checks and counters. It's incredible to watch this guy work.
Last few seconds here. And there's the buzzer. Touch of glove, sign of respect. Well, I think Lewis Long has come out in this first round and said, you know what, this one's mine.
It's going to be incredible to watch Long come through to the second round. Just look how good he is in these replays. He picks up, he passes, he comes through, he checks all the way through. In every kick, he digs through that leg and tries to get out from underneath him. And that's when everyone thought he got hurt. You can see how he just kicked it out from underneath him, but he does go down to the body, and that's what he keeps doing. He's shaking guys off because he's going up to the head and then down to the body. It throws everybody off with your punches.
And he's got such good counter rotation. He's ending every kick with a punch or every punch with a kick. Haven't seen too many knees, but I just don't think he needs them at this stage. He's got answers.
Well, it hasn't been a very tight, rangy, kind of Muay Thai clinching, dirty boxing kind of game where a lot of these knees that come into effect when you're dealing with how much taller Glover is than Long, that Long isn't going to be doing very many knees until they get tied up.
Mark Goddard getting us underway here. Second round, accidental low blow. That inside kick just going a little bit awry. Of course, he'll get 5 minutes, or up to 5 minutes to recover from an accidental strike. If you were in the corner of Mark Glover, Frank, as UFC veteran Jason Tan is, what will you have told him during that break?
For Glover, I'm going to tell him that, look, you got to get inside. He's beating you up on the outside, so get inside, tie him up a little bit, try a dirty box. But you got to change the game up. Right now, you're letting him dictate the pace and dictate where this fight is going because you're letting him dictate where the hands are.
Oh, a very interesting catch, and Mark Glover almost climbed for a high guard standing up. But Lewis Long has intentions of keeping this on the feet, and rightly so, I feel. No checks coming from Mark Glover. The low kicks finding their target every time here.
If he's not going to check the kick, he's got to return immediately. Take the kick and immediately before that leg gets back to the ground, throw something after it. He's just checking the kick. He's just not checking the kick and then not doing anything.
I mean, what incredible combinations from Lewis Long. He's just starting to throw at will here, and I think Mark Glover perhaps a little gun shy in this second round here. He's just getting beaten to the punch every time.
I don't think has he even thrown a punch in the first minute and a half or first minute 15 of this round.
I mean, we can see the damage building up on the outside of his lead leg. There we go, a bit more life coming into the striking of Mark Glover.
The leg is getting eaten up inside, outside. That left leg of Glover has got to be killing him at this point. He's going to start slowing his game down. He's going to have to change his game plan up. He's staying on the outside and just trying to go for a boxing game is not going to work for him anymore. He's got to get inside and change it up a little bit. He may not do any better on the inside, but right now this outside isn't working either.
He's going to the body, he's landing strikes, and it's all very well, Mark Glover saying, look, you're not hurting me, but they're scoring strikes and they're landing and the volume of them is building.
And every time he's getting kicked, his legs are flailing back, so the refs the judges are looking at it and thinking that everyone is going to do damage. There's no way that he can possibly think that he's even in the round at this point.
And I don't think that Lewis Long is going to be goaded into overcommitting himself or trying to throw. He's got a game plan. He's putting it into effect, and it's working for him flawlessly. Nice to see him double the jab up there.
Glover's in a bad spot. His back is always against the cage. He can't get away.
Oh, and Mark Glover looks for the takedown, but making him think about it with the guillotine. Lewis Long actually has a black belt in judo, so we saw how quick his footwork in the clinch was to bring himself back to base there.
Now, to me, that's just kind of silly. He did all that work to put it to the ground and then backed out. Like, if you're going to let it back out, then don't take it all the way to the ground. You know, free yourself before that.
I think Mark Glover took a little look up at the clock just to see how much is left in this round. But, I mean, do you think he's on autopilot now, Frank?
I do. I think so. I think right now at this point, he hasn't really shown us any gamemanship where he's got to step up his game a little bit and feels like he's got a shot to do it. He's just kind of, you know, hanging out for a little bit and taking the punishment, at least at this stage of the game.
Very impressed with how tight everything is staying. Wow. Deep into the second round here, and the techniques are still flawlessly executed.
Yeah, last exchange, Long, you know, turned Glover's head as he was punching. Right in the middle of a punch, he punched back and turned his head.
Silence in the corner of Mark Glover. I'm not sure there's many things they can say to try and rally their man at this point, because I never like to say it about a fight, because we've seen already tonight they can change on a dime.
Yeah,
but he's starting to look a little outmatched here.
The game plan they put together in this training camp they thought was going to work, it has not worked. Now, they didn't have a part B to go to.
Frank, Mark Glover is 6-1-1. That's still relatively early on in his career. You know, perhaps with a bit more experience, it's possible for fighters to develop that ability to change game plan and flow mid-fight.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not something that's taught. It's like something you have to really, really put down and throw them. You know, and if you do it in practice, you have to throw them wrenches all the time in practice to force them to learn that way. Otherwise, they just have to kind of figure it out when they go through the fights and things don't go their own way. Like, what are they going to do? You can't always stick with the game plan. It's not working.
Stalking now is Lewis Long. Center of the cage for him every time. Mark Glover still throwing offense back. But the last few seconds of this second round, well, he gets the last word in that round, but not too much else.
I give the first two rounds to Lewis Long. Like, he's dominating the footwork, dominating the position. He's winning the aggressiveness. He's got more damage going. He's got everything. So now you're in a position when you go into Mark Glover's corner, you've got to finish the fight. Like, you've got to finish him to win this fight. So what are we going to do? It's very difficult to finish a guy that can keep kicking your leg on the inside and the outside.
He had some fantastic kick-punch combinations in this round. Inside of the leg, outside of the leg. There we go. We see it on the replay there.
I mean, it's just amazing how tight he is and how much space he actually has when he's doing all this work.
Yeah, I mean, this fight, you know, it's a catch of 160 pounds. Be really, really nice to see what Lewis Long, you know, can put together at 155. If he can get used to the weight cut, he can settle down. You know, bright future for him in the lightweight division.
Absolutely. Good speed, good motion. Good power on the inside.
So, touch of gloves. And straight back to work goes Lewis Long. Don't forget, you can join us at a roughly similar time next week when we'll be bringing you Cage Warriors Fight Night 8 from Al Fujira in the United Arab Emirates. Quick turnaround for us.
Isn't it like 3 shows in 28 days?
Yeah, 3 shows in 4 weeks. Straight after that, we're off to Dublin on the 1st of June. Che Mills, Cathal Pendred for the welterweight title. That's going to be a cracker.
That's a lot of shows we're putting together, and logistically trying to get everybody around. I mean, it's amazing how many different countries Cage Warrior goes to.
But what we see is when runs of shows like this come together, you get guys who get the chance to develop under, you know, a bit more of a spotlight, a bit more scrutiny, and the cream rises to the top. And, you know, a lot of guys look to make their mark here and find their way to that next level.
Plus, you know, the opportunity to be able to travel and be in different atmospheres and different cultures as you're fighting gives you that different sense. So if the call comes for you to move up to the big show, then all of a sudden you're in a position where I'm comfortable. I've already done it. Cage Warriors gave me the platform. I'm already ready to do all this. You're not showing me anything new.
Lewis Long diligently staying working. And I would not want to see how well Mark Glover walks tomorrow morning, because his lead leg, inside and outside, has taken some unbelievable punishment tonight. Mark Glover talking to him. I mean, you know, what's probably going through Glover's head here, Frank?
He's taunting him. He's trying to step in. He's trying to make it a fight. He's trying to get in there. And what's happening is that he feels like Long is just picking them apart. That all Long is doing is him with some small shots, getting his leg out from underneath him. He's not really trying to make it a fight. And Long is trying to, Glover's trying to make this thing be a fight. He's trying to make it a brawl because the fight, the style of fight he was doing before isn't working. He's hoping the brawl now will help him win this fight.
And the crowd cheering that showboating on, but Lewis Long unfazed, sticking to his game plan. He has no need to get drawn into a slugfest here. Everything he's doing is working for him. It's Mark Glover who's got to push the pace and actually throw some offense together. Over the halfway mark in this third and final round. Still to come tonight, Danny Roberts, Diego Gonzalez, and middleweight title fight, Jesse Taylor and John Phillips. Mark Glover now with some offense against the cage, looking for the takedown. Nice grip to block, keep the frame from Lewis Long.
Nice elbow at the top and missed. Even when he's not really in a great position, Long learns how to move his head out of the way. So even when someone's coming out that fast, that would have been a great elbow. It would have been a great cutting elbow that Glover threw, but Long made him miss entirely.
Might that have been the last hurrah for Mark Glover, the attempted takedown that Lewis Long, you know, was able to shrug off? I mean, there's still a minute and a half to go here.
It's got to, you know, we're wearing on it mentally now at this point. You're chasing a guy down, you're hitting him with everything you got, you're trying to come after him, but you're missing entirely, and your takedowns aren't working. Now you're getting caught even more because you're reaching with your hands. It's caught a quick uppercut. He's hurt.
I mean, Mark Glover, you know, he's never been stopped in his career. Lewis Long is doing a very good job of trying to do that.
Glover's trying to shake it. Now every time he shakes it off and says he's not hurt, it's a lie. Because that last uppercut and belly shot hurt him when he shook his head.
I mean, we said in the opener, you know, a lot of these guys on this card were looking to break out at the regional level, be at the top of the domestic scene. You know, has Lewis Long shown you that he can do that tonight?
Yeah, it definitely does. At least with this, you know, at least against Glover, he's showing he's got a full game. But remember, we haven't seen him on top, we haven't seen him on the bottom. What's going to happen when it becomes a grappling match? He's got good judo, but what does that mean? You know, what's going to happen? You know, is he going to roll in arm bars? Is he going to end up trying to throw something on the ground and get beat up?
There's certainly some very interesting matchups in the lightweight division that can be made for either one of these guys. Really nice cross-face attempt. It looks like he might end in the top position here. Glover trying to control the posture, but Lewis Long just teeing off for the last 10 seconds here and saying to the crowd, I'm pretty sure I've got this one.
Yeah, what a great fight. You know, that truly showed that Lewis Long is a step up, man. Glover's no slouch, and even with that year off, he came back in and he still was snapping and punching. He just didn't have the game tonight to beat Lewis Long. Lewis Long was the better man of the two, and really deservedly so.
What do you think the strike count's going to be for Lewis Long there?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I mean, he was ridiculous. And the percentage has to be high, too. Like, there's one thing, throwing a bunch of pitches, throwing a bunch of punches, but then all of a sudden turning around and making those all count is a big deal. And Long threw a bunch of punches, but then also made a lot of contact.
I mean, here we see some of the replays. I don't think Lewis Long threw a kick in the entire fight that missed the mark.
No, I don't think so.
And that's phenomenal.
You know, when you're 100% on your
lower body strikes,
and your body strikes with your punches, he's 100% ball. I mean, that's a huge ratio to be throwing out.
And you know what? He never looked off balance. He took himself out of alignment. Posture was great. Guard was good. Punches snapped back. We're going to the judges' card, but I don't think it's going to be an upset here. Cyrus Feast has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-hitting rounds, the judges have rendered their decision. All 3 judges score this fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision.